For decades, the global retirement plan was a simple contract. You worked hard, saved what you could, and when Western property taxes and healthcare costs became too heavy a burden, you packed up and moved to Mexico or Thailand. It was the ultimate financial escape hatch. But that era is quietly coming to an end. Right now, Mexico is pushing budget-conscious retirees away by nearly doubling its temporary residency income requirement to over $4,000 a month. Thailand, meanwhile, is aggressively rolling out new taxes on foreign income. The old havens are closing their doors. But here is what most people miss. The dream of retiring abroad hasn't disappeared. It has just moved. While the famous spots become increasingly expensive and complicated, 4 new countries have quietly opened their doors. These are havens offering world-class private healthcare, deep tax advantages, and a dignified lifestyle that actually protects your life savings from aggressive Western inflation. And by the time we reach the final country on this list, you will see a legal loophole so generous it practically pays you to live there. Let's begin the countdown at number 4 with a place that feels like the ultimate frontier for making a modest pension stretch incredibly far. Most people look at Southeast Asia and assume Thailand is the only option with modern comforts. But just next door, Cambodia is quietly absorbing the retirees who are tired of jumping through Thailand's new financial hoops. At first glance, Cambodia might sound like an adventurer's destination, not a retirement haven, but that is exactly why the opportunity here is so massive. In cities like Phnom Penh, you will find modern high-rises, thriving expat communities, and private clinics that cater directly to foreigners. The real contrast, however, is the visa process. While other countries are demanding massive bank deposits, Cambodia offers the retirement visa. If you are 55 or older and can simply prove you are retired with a pension or savings, you can step off the plane, get a visa, and renew it annually through a local agent. There are no mandatory 6-figure deposits. There are no complicated tax traps for your 401k. At a time when the rest of the world is building financial walls, Cambodia is handing out the keys. With luxury, Western-style apartments renting for a fraction of what they cost in Florida or the UK, your monthly income isn't just surviving inflation, it is defeating it. Cambodia proves that ultra-low-cost living is still possible. But what happens when you want that affordability, but you refuse to navigate a massive language barrier or a complicated culture shock? Coming in at number 3, the Philippines completely changes the equation. The Philippines has always been on the radar, but moving toward 2026, it is rapidly becoming a premier safe haven. The immediate advantage here is obvious. English is widely spoken, used in everything from real estate contracts to hospital consultations. You do not have to spend your retirement struggling to translate complex medical terms on a smartphone. But the true genius of the Philippines is its Special Resident Retirees Visa, known as the SRRV. It is widely considered one of the most accessible and flexible retirement programs on the planet. Depending on your age and whether you have a steady pension, the required bank deposit can be remarkably low. And in many cases, those funds can actually be used to invest in local real estate or long-term leases. You aren't just locking your money away, you are deploying it. And that matters because it gives Western retirees a permanent legal right to reside in a country with private English-speaking healthcare systems that cost a fraction of a U.S. out-of-pocket deductible. You are essentially buying back your peace of mind. The Philippines doesn't just offer a cheaper cost of living, it offers an easy, frictionless transition into a completely new life. However, Southeast Asia isn't for everyone. Some retirees are looking for a climate, culture, and level of infrastructure that feels distinctly closer to Europe without the European price tag. And that brings us to number 2, South America's most overlooked sanctuary. Uruguay is frequently called the Switzerland of South America, and for good reason. It boasts a remarkably stable democracy, a strong middle class, and an incredibly low crime rate compared to its neighbors. When you walk through the coastal city of Punta del Este or the historic streets of Montevideo, it feels entirely first world. You see modern infrastructure, excellent private hospitals, and a society that values quiet, peaceful living. But here is where it gets interesting. You would expect a country this stable and modern to have impossible immigration barriers. Yet Uruguay offers a highly accessible independent means pathway. If you can demonstrate a reliable passive income of around $1,500 a month from a pension, Social Security, or rental properties, you can establish residency. Crucially, Uruguay operates on a territorial tax system, meaning they generally exempt foreign-source pensions and income from local taxation for your first decade of residency. This is the ultimate shield for your nest egg. Uruguay isn't the cheapest country on this list, but it offers a level of civic stability and physical safety that many retirees assume no longer exists outside of expensive Western suburbs. The opportunity here isn't just about saving money, it is about buying into a high-trust society before the rest of the world fully prices it in. But if you think tax exemptions and physical safety are impressive, wait until you see a country that has literally written discount codes for retirees into its national law. Taking the #1 spot, Panama is the ultimate financial cheat code for the Western retiree. Visually, Panama City looks like Miami, with a glittering skyline, a massive banking sector, and the US dollar serving as the official currency. You don't have to worry about wild exchange rate fluctuations destroying your purchasing power overnight. But the real reason retirees are quietly moving their lives to Panama is the legendary Pensionado Visa. To qualify, you only need to prove a guaranteed lifetime pension of $1,000 a month. Here is the part that sounds almost too good to be true. Once you have this permanent visa, Panamanian law mandates that you receive profound discounts on almost every aspect of daily life. We are talking 50% off entertainment, 25% off airline tickets, 25% off utility bills, and critically 15 to 20% off hospital bills, doctor consultations, and prescription medications. These aren't seasonal promotions, they are permanent legal rights granted to you by the government. In a world where Western retirees are terrified of a single medical emergency wiping out their life savings, Panama offers a safety net that is structurally built into the economy. It is a country that doesn't just tolerate retirees, it aggressively competes for them. What these 4 countries reveal is a massive shift in global migration. The traditional havens are raising the drawbridge, demanding more money for the exact same lifestyle. But the smart money isn't fighting those rising costs. The smart money is simply going where it is treated best. The biggest opportunity today isn't just finding a place where your rent is cheaper. It is finding a country where your pension, your healthcare needs, and your desire for a dignified, secure lifestyle perfectly align with local laws. Because protecting your life savings shouldn't mean sacrificing the quality of your life.